shout out to the liquor too. The liquor probably gave you a
That
nice
liquor was
little warm-up.
smooth, bro.
Yeah, smooth.
Yeah, shout out to
I'm
wherever
just getting
they
the
got
name
that
of that
from.
from. I have to buy myself a bottle. From.
Yeah, no, it's decent.
Is that in shops? Like, can you buy
Well,
it in shops?
I don't know. This came from another
I'll
country,
find
so
it.
I
I'll
have
just
no
search
clue.
online and just see.
Yeah, you actually get that shit
where you
online
can
for
get it
sure.
from,
But
innit?
that shit was like, it's not like Kvass is smooth, but that was like sensational.
No, that put Kofi to shame. I don't like that.
Therefore,
Made
still.
Kofi feel like
I don't
grass.
like Courvoisier still.
You know, is the overtime like you can like it, but if you're used to like the sharp, not sharp, it's smooth, but it's not as smooth like that. This thing was like the flavor was just
Kofi
casual.
is strong.
Yeah,
It is strong,
gives you a little
sure.
something in my neck. Pause, like
Yeah, no.
What, the
I
burn?
get what you mean. I
Yeah,
get what you mean.
burn.
I like that though.
I don't like it from.
Because you know when you're drinking, you want to know that you're drinking. Like I don't want to start getting tipsy. I'm like, oh, how did this happen? I want to know what
I want to know, but I feel like that does it
get
too
there.
hard. I'm
Like,
like, that,
like,
I'm
it's
like,
a
I know,
shot.
nigga.
Hey, nigga, I'm going down your throat,
It's like,
nigga.
Hey, pause, bro.
Pause, nigga.
Hey, yo, wildin', hey, yo, bro, wildin', bro. Pause, nigga. This nigga said that shit with a smile on his face.
Hey, no.
I should
Don't get me wrong. I know it's your birthday. I know it's your birthday, but I just deep
Nah.
to what just
God
happened.
Do you know what I should have added at the
I'm
end?
going down, yo.
Says Kofi.
Like,
Yo, man was really shuffling like I'm going down your
He
throat,
said it's too
nigga.
strong, innit? So man, just get me put it into action.
Yo, open up, nigga.
hey, yo. Hey, this conversation is crazy.
Hey, no, that was bad still.
Niggas
Hey, that was bad.
wildin'.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And it's more bad because he's got the neck tattoo for emphasis. Bro. Yo, I'm
Guy
saying,
gonna let that go, fam.
yo, I'm telling you, bro. Like, imagine him in a wife beater with that. It's like, yo, go out your
See
phone,
me.
nigga. Open up wide, nigga. Bug, bitch.
You'll
Like,
see me on Friday, bro.
Oh,
You'll see
damn.
me on
hey,
Friday.
man, I really need to see you that vest, bro. Like,
Hey.
that is gonna be the most
Best coming
gangster
out.
shit.
Hey,
I'll
man.
go
We gonna give him
grapevine.
we gonna give him a
I got
wife beater, white vest, and chinos.
I got a selection of vests to pick
Hey,
from.
listen,
you get
man,
me?
and we gotta have Nov playing in the background. That is some West Coast shit.
What, straight G?
Yeah, straight G, the perfect
straight
song for it,
G.
bro.
A straight G.
Listen,
Let me hit some funky shit for these niggas real quick.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like
Do you hear now?
when you have that celebrity couple and you stem it from like, oh well, you're with, you know, they obviously know Michael B. Jordan's journey and what he's doing and what he's grafted and the ventures he's done. So it's like you do that comparison thing, and it's like, well, if you're not really a big name that's already launched yourself in your own establishment, like if we don't really know you for something, but you're with this person who's already done their thing,
Yeah.
automatically it's like, well, okay, well, I guess you're just the person that looks good and whatnot. So like when you think about like John Legend and like his wife, the Chrissy Teigen, I actually didn't know who she was. I just thought I just know she was always very good looking, but like
She's a model.
yeah, apparently she was. She was a model before Instagram and all of that. I was like, oh, I didn't know, innit? And then also I had a thing on the back of that, she's become more like a TV personality and stuff like that. But then the convo went a bit sideways and I had to say, no, I got to put my foot in there because it started talking about Posh and Becks, innit? And don't get me wrong, like Posh is obviously, she's done her thing. She made her lane before she met Beckham as well. But like what I don't like is, and it's not the first time I heard it, like certain people be like, oh, yeah, and Becks was a dead baller. I'm like, no, let's
You said
not.
that, fam.
Yeah,
One of the
that's wild.
girls. And I was like, yo, no, like, we're not gonna do that. Like,
She was a side singer. She was a backup singer. What?
no.
Yeah.
She won. No, that's the thing, and that's a
She
juxtaposition.
wasn't the main one.
No, she was one. I think it was an
But
equal.
She went nah.
No, because Spice Girls was like they were big, but they weren't.
but she
They were
weren't.
massive. She wasn't the one that stood in the middle. Though.
Yeah,
I don't know, you know, because
She
it's
was
like
like,
they all
you
had
get
their
me?
own personality in it. Like I can't say really and truly who was the one Spice. I feel like with Spice Girls, like there was always just a collective where it's like I like Mel B, well I like Mel C, well I like I think it's Jerry Spice.
But like, Victoria Beckham, yeah, you could argue that.
Like everybody had their own lane.
But you
really
could
and
argue that
truly.
she got more attention because she powered with like another global
But then
superstar.
the argument is though, is like, well, a lot of people are saying that more reverse because Becks got more stardom once he was with her.
Cat.
And I know I can't lie to you because are we seeing it from a football side or the outside?
But I
of
think
it?
that's where the perspectives then
exactly.
coincide,
clash.
because then it's like,
Man
yeah,
went
they clash.
to Real Madrid, fam.
No, that's what I'm saying. But like
Yeah.
that's like football shit in it. So
Yeah,
it's like
but-
for us, that's like that's lit.
That's our reasoning, but
Yeah.
then from their perspective, because
like,
they listen
well-
to Spice Girls all the time, it was like no one even knew Beckham before this happened.
You know what
No,
I'm saying? 'Cause
you
then-
didn't know Beckham before this happened.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because it's like I was telling that no, Becks was not a dead baller. Like, come on, like we ain't gonna just
We ain't doing
interrupt
that.
like whole 94, like 99, like
Yeah, we ain't doing
the
that.
treble season. Like we're not gonna do that. But at that same time, obviously I know Posh came in his life, innit? Now I'm not gonna say he probably won't do what he was doing later on, but she probably did accelerate that because like obviously I didn't really start to see him more in the fashion icon kind of sense and
there you
the
go.
limelight and like the paparazzi and celebrity shit until he was with her, and I feel like that's what put his name more in like the wider range of the
But the
market.
thing is as well, they
100%.
got together really young. So
They did.
You can even argue like it's one of them ones.
But they
like,
both had sauce.
You would never exactly. It's one of them ones like you'd never know. Like, what if he'd never met?
What
her?
would have happened? Yeah.
What if she never met him?
Yeah.
Like then there wouldn't be because again, these you get me all these publications that they're gonna look for that thing that they can sell. Now they can sell like a power couple to the whole nation. Bruv, they can combine football fans with people who like music,
Fashion or music.
with fashion, all of these things. Bruv, they can like think of all the brands that they can work with now.
But that's the thing, and
You
that's
get me?
what happened. But I don't feel like necessarily it was more like they combined. People from Posh's world weren't really concerned with Beck's world. They just thought, oh, this guy's stylish and he's with her, and like
Vice versa, though.
he's got kind of like a good looking kind of look and all of that stuff there. But even for the football man, obviously fair, we didn't care really too much either. Like, yeah, they got the 1-2 bangers, but it's not our world. Like, if anything, what
You
even
get me?
thinking?
That's what I'm saying. It's like they brought together two worlds. Do you get me? And fam, if you think about it, imagine this. She went up. Bruv, there's bare like celebrities that's gone out of ballers, and that's not done nothing to the baller.
Yeah.
But you know what's
But
actually
except
mad?
Shakira, fam. Like no one's all on
Better
PK.
PK,
Like
yeah.
mad thing, Brad.
But then
You gotta have something. And
Yeah,
Becks
you have to
had Becks had the look, he had the style, he had the drip,
talent.
he had the sauce, and he had the talent. Like
That was the thing though, because like then we went from like a one thing to the next. So we was talking about, alright, cool. So then we agreed, like they both had sauce. Like
Yeah, for
she,
sure.
it's not like Becks just had nothing. Like she brought her own shit
They
to the
brought
table.
equal shares to the table.
You see it, but then they was like, well then why most ballers just go out with like just regular things that just look good, like the blow up lips and blow up back and all of that, like, but they don't have nothing for them. And then I was like, my thing was more like, well, you're coming from like a footballer who's like
What does
probably
that
get
mean?
like.
What does that mean though?
Alright, so like say like when you think about what do you like in a person, and you know like if you say like, well, in my woman, like I would like to see her be ambitious, like I would actually like to see her have dreams, and she's got her own thing running for herself in it. So like when it came to the whole Posh and Becks thing, it was like, okay, that's cool, that's an example of a footballer. But then there was like, well, most other footballers don't go for girls like that. Like most of these guys, they just have girls who just look good, and that's that. And I was like, not all of them, but you would have a majority of them. And I was like, but you got to see from their perspective, like. You're 18 with like what, $1 million in the contract. Like all you've focused on in your life is one thing, your set plan. Train, diet, rest well, train again, analyze, do what I've got to do and whatnot. I'm worried about my thing and I'm getting money from it as well. Man ain't got time to be thinking about who brings something to the table. Listen, this is what I bring to the table.
I
innit?
am the table. The
As long as-
table's
yeah, you know
there.
what I'm
The
saying?
table's
Like,
already built.
You see it, so it's
You
like
get me?
I look good, I know what I'm doing, and it's like as long as you just look buff and like, oh what, you think I'm the shit, yeah? Calm. And I was like, more time, that's what most of these guys will probably go into the game thinking, innit? Like they're not gonna have the time to think, but what do I want in a woman? Because they're just thinking about
need a
their
woman
shit.
to be on anything, but at the same
You see
time,
it?
you're probably looking at like the young ballers who they're going through that phase where they got bare bread all of a sudden. You get me?
They're like
3-4
bro,
years into
17,
getting bare
18
bread.
with that much
They ain't
bread.
thinking of settling down anytime
Exactly,
soon.
fam.
They're trying to live their life.
They're gonna
fam.
go through
They're gonna run
phases.
through this girl.
Yeah.
And
And most of them are settled down, they're still doing
get
their
me?
thing on the side as well. And it's no
Bro.
shade, but we know what's out there though at the
Yo,
same time.
some dirty ass niggas in there.
Yo, we know what's out there, innit?
That life is mad. Like a football, that's what I'm saying, fam. Like, people who don't know or don't have any friends or connections to like people in the industry, bro, to be a footballer at like a decent level, your lifestyle is mad.
Yeah, it's different.
It's mad. Bro, you wake up, you're probably working for like how many, like 6 hours. You wake up, you probably train for 2 hours, you go gym, you might do a bit of recovery, then you have lunch or whatever, and then you might do your own extra training. And and then after you're home, bro. You're like, and more time, they spend a lot of time alone as well because they can't really go out.
They're
with their
literally
friends.
dolo, fam. They're
You get
dolo.
me? So like, what do you want from them?
Yeah.
They're not gonna then look for a woman to. You get me? They're
Nah,
thinking,
what's-
tomorrow I've got this match, bro.
Yeah, like, they
Get
got a
QPR,
game.
fam. Man, needs to.
It's more like my world right now. Like, can
Yeah,
you fit
they're all in
around
their world.
my
And-
world?
And that's
100%.
the thing, because at the end of the day, you know, when like everyone else, like let's say just like what Jonny described, and Kofi, they're in their own world, doing their thing, focusing on what they have going on. Because what they're building, especially them young ages of like 17 to like 23, they know the future's mad
Yeah.
if I focus.
Yeah.
If I stay on do what I need to do, the future could be like astronomical. I have no clue what's gonna happen.
And if you don't, it's peak.
If I don't, it's peak. So I need to focus on what I'm doing. So anyone that's trying to like be around me or be my friend or be my girlfriend or whatever, they have to fit around what I got going on. I can't change what I've got going on for you because that could mess up my whole life for something that could last 6 months, 8 months. Impossible. So 9 out of 10, those kids, and they most likely not have their head screwed on as such, but they at least know that. Believe, man.
Football is their biggest
They
sacrifice.
know that. That is their life. They need to just pattern this. That's why when they get released at 21, 22, 23, and they're nobodies now with no education or whatever because they literally missed the whole of like uni and all that stuff. They now have to go back and then if the most likely they probably touched up and got A levels and that, so they could potentially go uni straight away. But most of them motherfuckers probably didn't, and they already planned for a life that was completely way different than getting a job, bro. So naturally they didn't even want to do that. They're like, fuck that. So naturally, them man have a life that a lot of people don't understand. That's why there's so many questions about it. Like, yeah, but how come they do this and how come they do? You don't understand because you're just not in that world. Like, until you get it and you understand it, like you'll just never understand it.
And the thing is, if you're like a footballer, like a decent level, I said, until you possibly retire, because again, you've got like a 20-year career.
20,
like you need to basically achieve as much as you can in that 20 years so that it can last you the rest of your life. You get me? And until they possibly retire, they can't really live the life they want.
100%.
Like they've got the money,
and that's what's
but
mad.
they can't do the crazy thing because they got training tomorrow. You're playing football for like what?
I think the only
10 months.
time
Bro,
that they can
it's
actually
mad.
get in touch with themselves really is like when they got to do the media training. Like, no, you got to learn how to say this and say like this. And that's probably the only time they got to
8
reflect
10
on
months
themselves.
They're just back and traveling here, training here.
Mad. Look at Jack Grealish. I say him specifically because he was so like he was getting so gassed about winning the Prem. He was drunk at the parade and he went out to what was it, Marbella? He went somewhere.
Ibiza.
Bro, at Ibiza, man's in the
Man's
England camp, bro.
Next what?
Yeah.
Next
Bro,
couple 2 days,
literally
bro.
like a day, like he literally got a flight, went back home, like slept for like an hour, came and then went straight to England. Like man had literally a holiday for 3 days. Imagine you had to go work every single day, bro. Literally every day, and then you had a break for like 6 days, but like 2 of them days are travel days, and then that was it. Then you're back at work until the end of the year, Christmas.
And the work,
and then on Christmas, you actually had to go back to work.
play.
At
Yeah, you got
Boxing
to work
Day.
Boxing Day
Come
still.
on, man.
and the mad thing is,
It's
do
mad
you know
still.
what the mad thing is? Whilst you're out, imagine you're constantly having to impress your manager at work.
Yeah, you have to.
Like it's not like
Yeah.
do this task and you get
we'll see,
paid.
like,
Nah, you have to do this better than everyone who could do the same
Like
thing.
you actually have to like kiss
'Cause
his ass through your performance.
Next season you might not be here.
Yeah, because you got to do your job better than you did it last week on the 23rd against this opposition. You get like everything is analyzed. Everything is analyzed. Like it's so peak. You do like 4 or 5 things. Like, we'll get some pros. We'll get some ex-pros on as well that will come on and tell you lot like niggas that were in the game, like making that P at those young ages. They're not doing that no more. They're in suits right now. You get we'll get them niggas on to actually explain to some niggas to what these lot go through in terms of, bro, 1 or 2 training sessions, you're done. You're finished. And we're not talking Prem, we're not talking Grealish, we're not talking them, man. Them man do what they want. They're on a whole nother level. I'm talking about your friends, the people you know, like the people you know. Oh, my man from school that went and bust, him. You see him, if he does 3 or 4 training sessions, or even like just a month of just terrible ball, he's done. He's done. His career's over. So he has to focus, fam. He has to focus.
Man,
on
after
what he's doing.
training, fam, I go home. I want to sleep. I want to recover, fam. You get me? Talk about bro. Let's help me. You get me?
Like the
Plan
side.
for the future. Nah, bro.
yeah.
This is what I'm doing. I'm planning for my future.
So what we saying?
I need to sleep.
What we saying? Should we be holding, or should we give at least a little leeway to like when you see like something like certain celebrities, especially like bowlers and athletes and that like
Until you're
having-
in that life, you can't really say too much.
Yeah,
Get
it's
me?
peak, it's
Even
peak.
someone like Kanye West, or like you see people saying, "Bruv, why does what's this guy's Will Smith's son, fam?
Jaden Smith.
Jaden, why does he act like that, bro? He's had a different upbringing.
Yeah,
Man don't like these man don't know poverty, bruv.
Yeah.
Like they don't know struggle. Like obviously you have different struggles, but they don't know like financial struggle. So a lot of things in life will come easy to them. Do you get me? And a lot of things that for us it was easy to learn, it's gonna be hard because they ain't had to walk the same paths. So you're thinking, oh, why is he moving like that? He's wearing all these things, having these mood swings. It's like, yeah, bruv, because his lifestyle was set up completely different, bruv. Where he can probably afford to have these mood swings. You can't.
Man
you
can
got
actually
work tomorrow.
afford to have a shot.
You get me? You gotta wake up and catch bus 181 to Grove Park, cuz.
And then you gotta get another bus.
You get me?
You get me? Like loud.
You can soak all you want, but what's your leg? You're doing suicide, bro. So that's on you.
He wakes up, yeah.
You can soak because you got
He
shit, but I'm
wakes
gonna
up
get
and
this.
think like he can literally do. He can wake up and fly to Dubai. You get me?
And just say, fuck
You
you.
know what I'm saying? Like,
just
yo,
for lunch.
I just need to
about-
get away. I need to get away.
I need to
Like,
get away.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
you're getting away is going to the garden, bro.
Yeah, like,
you get me.
If that, and if your shit looks like mine,
And
bro,
if your
you're
garden ain't
finished.
pipe,
You're finished.
You just open the curtains and say, yeah,
Just
good
say,
getaway.
yeah.
That's my good 5 minutes.
You get me?
Yeah,
5 minutes,
your
bro.
mum
You're
calls
getting
you
up. He's
downstairs
getting away
to
to
get
the
rid of
fridge,
the
bro.
get
You
all
walk
the
downstairs to the
chores
fridge. Yeah, you get me?
Yeah, no, I hear
Get that
it.
muffin, bro.
No, like tropical juice is the most tropical your life's getting, bro. Facts. So you better enjoy every sip, bro. That's it.
I-
We'll
that's
put
what-
ice in it.
Listen, I don't. That's what I don't like.